guys have done a great job on the reopening. Emily and I had some great conversations yesterday, which I might hit on here. But, yeah, the day-to-day, I mean, has anything changed, or are we still reopening?
So in answer to your question, is the reopening still happening? Yes, and unlike a lot of other sectors, it's going to happen slowly and over a long period of time. And the hospitals are going to make a lot of money because their per-unit prices are going to go up as long as the insurance companies can't keep up, which in the battle between insurance companies and hospitals always win. And we covered this yesterday, and I put a replay out yesterday afternoon that covers, most of this. But, one of and Bob Rich, I know, is going to bring me a very inspirational cartoon on this topic, but what you have in healthcare is high demand and building. And it is that the pipeline that healthcare has to get through, the demand is smaller. So you have a demand and supply imbalance, which is not something we think about in healthcare, because the capacity is what the capacity is, and that's defined by labor. And if you don't have people, you don't have supplies. You don't have, you can't meet demand. And one of the anecdotes, I was at dinner in New York, one of the anecdotes was this one medical device guy is like, yeah, we can put our devices together, but the doc can't find a nurse to help him in the OR. So sales are soft. And you're going to see that ripple through, but it's not going to be uniform because people, the high acuity cases like cancer treatment, and cancer testing, those people are first in line, whereas that bad knee of yours is probably going to have to wait. So it's a really, really interesting period of time. And as I've said on the call, we're long past thinking of this as if we were reopening restaurants. This is not what's going on. We have supply constraints that are durable. We have demand that is high and rising, and that is not something that can be easily fixed in months. It's probably years, and it's going to transform the health system as a result. That sounds kind of like a downer, but it's really kind of exciting.
Well, you gave me the real downer yesterday when you said, look, there could be 30, 40, 50 million people that died due to COVID instead of the reported 5 million. I mean, that's a real downer. That's terrible. But all that, fully loaded, which was a really insightful discussion that you provided both our clients and me yesterday, because you were in the office, which was nice to see you. Been forever. Great reopening. For people that just sit there with their the intellect, they sit there with their nose in their deflation books and just keep, meandering in their own heads. The rest of us actually, no offense to David Rosenberg, but he sits in a room by himself all day long. I mean, it's like, with the rest of us actually, we're 80-person team working more and more together every day in person. That's what's going on in the real world, David. Rents are at new highs. You said that they weren't even up. You said that inflation was going to be cut in half by the fourth quarter. It's going up, and this is reality. It's not critical. It's just calling you out. But Emily's point and the client calls that Steiner and I were on yesterday, and we will be on again back to back today. A lot of clients are really, really digging in on this supply chain bottleneck. That's the latest thing, right? Everybody's in a supply chain bottleneck, and it's kind of hard to tell, where people wash out on this. I mean, it's generally hard to read a room when there's nobody in the room, like we're doing calls, right? We're not sitting in front of, 80 people at BlackRock, but it's hard to tell where people, I could feel people are very nervous in some cases or excited about the quarter because there'll be winners and losers in that quad 3 that we had in Q3. But in Q4, it's a lot easier to see with the reopening. Bottlenecks plus growth slowing in Q3, quad 3, that was bad, right? Bottlenecks coming unglued and reopening is good. That's quad 2. So I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. And I think that people that struggle with having an actual process struggle with communicating. But I think I'm clear on this. So thank you for being additive to that. Of course, the point on labor lost, again, human life, if the number really is, 4 or 5, 10 times what it's reported by governments worldwide, that's inflationary. These people,
Oh,
whether
yeah.
they be in Vietnam or Indonesia or wherever, I mean, look at the chart of cotton today. That is a vertical pattern. Okay, this is not. I said it yesterday. I said it again. One by one commodities through bottlenecks on the labor side or through the supply chain or not, that is inflation that you need to be long of. Okay, so where I could be wrong is that it's not quad 2, it's quad 3 still, which is fine because my inflation book works wonderfully right now. But again, I digress. We'll keep on this one, Emily. This is a really good fact-finding mission for humanity, really.
It's a little depressing, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.